GoreCast is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror. As well as the Station of Decapitation Without Your Head,
America's longest running horror channel, www.withoutyourhead.com.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the GoreCast Unplugged. It's Tuesday, so that means it's original versus remake day. Hooray! Hooray! Actually, half hooray today, because half is good and half is very bad.
Very bad. I still had fun, though. So worth
I mean, we get to watch movies. I mean, I guess you can't complain. Other people got to do real jobs.
Exactly.
We just get to watch movies, not for a living, but it still works. So, but like I said, it's Tuesday, so it is our second or third. Our second.
Yep.
Yeah, Hills of Eyes was the first. So it'll be our second episode of the original versus remakes. And today we will be looking at The Fog, 1980, and The Fog, 2005. So, like I kind of told the guys a couple minutes ago, like this is my first time seeing both movies. Because I know of them, obviously. The Fog is a John Carpenter classic, but just for some reason I have not gotten around to seeing it myself. So that's the one thing I find that I'm enjoying about doing all these live streams and podcasts and everything is I'm watching a lot of movies that I should have already seen before, but just haven't gotten around to them. And I'm actually watching them. So
it is kind of weird how certain films just completely escape your watch list at times.
So you hear tons about it and how much people like them, but it just either slips your mind when kind of skimming through the TV guide, if that's a thing anymore.
Right.
Or your streaming service guide now.
Hey, quick shout out. I want to say hey to Katie, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Hello, Katie. I'm doing my princess wave, if you can see, obviously. Glad that you guys are watching us tonight. So, how's it?
Oh, it's going good, man. Like we said, watch the movies, and now we get to sit here and talk about it. So I can't complain. You?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm just finishing off a second beer, so it's going to be a happy buzz tonight. So, got a couple of news bits for you guys to get before we get into the reviews and such. The first little bit of news is the brand new season of The Twilight Zone gets a summer premiere date. This is the second season of The Twilight Zone, which is on CBS All Access, which is CBS's streaming service. And it is hosted by that guy. I forgot his name.
Jordan Peele.
There you go, Jordan Peele. I knew it was one of them. I knew it was either K or Peele. I got a 50-50 chance. Jordan Peele. The name was like towards the bottom of the article, so I didn't see it right away. But yes, the second season will be coming out Thursday, June 25th. So got a little bit away, but and I guess all 10 episodes will be dropping at once. I guess last year they didn't for the first season. I didn't watch it, so
I remember I think they're doing like a weekly thing, like kind of. It's weird to say, but like old school television, even though it was streaming, they were doing like a once a week drop.
Yeah. So this time they're gonna have all 10 episodes at once, which is it's one of those things. Like I mean, obviously you're used to it with like the Netflixes and stuff, where it's kind of like a curse and a blessing all at once.
Right.
Kind of like ooh, I get them all at once, or you're like, ooh, I'm done, and now I got like a whole another year before I get to watch a new episode.
Oh yeah, dude. No, like, because I still watch some stuff on regular television, and I gotten so used to binging. It's like after 40 minutes, it's like, oh crap, that was it this week.
You're like, God damn it, why isn't the next episode playing right away?
Right.
I want to skip the intro too while I'm at it.
Oh, that's cool. That kind of getting a second season kind of answered that question because I never caught any of it, so I was kind of
I didn't watch it either. I mean, I'm a big fan of like obviously the original incarnation. I know there's been a lot of different incarnations of the Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah,
past the decades. I heard good things about it, but like I said, I'm not paying for yet another streaming service. So
yeah, here.
I got enough of it as it is. But a little bit of notes on the season. It says executive producers Jordan Peele and Simon Kilberg's modern reimagining of the classic brings the original series legacy of social consciousness storytelling to new audiences, exploring the human condition and holding a lens up to the culture of our times. The second season will use introspection and exploration of self to usher viewers into a familiar dimension. So that is a look at the second season of the Twilight Zone. Just give me 1 second as my thing loads up so I can get to the second story. Okay, right here. We got the Marshes, which is a... Forgive me for my slow internet. I'm having a little bit of a giz moment here. The Marshes will be hitting. It's a new movie that's actually on a streaming platform right now, but it's going to be hitting Blu-ray and digital on June 16th of this year. It says The Marshes is when a group of young microbiologists head deep into the Australian wilderness to test water samples. They inadvertently enter the domain of a mysterious local. As they travel through the marshes, he stalks them with every move, determined to kill anyone who enters his land.
Alrighty.
Yeah. It comes out June 16th, 2020. Currently, it is available on Shudder, but it will be hitting DVD and Blu-ray and digital on June 16th. So if you don't want to wait till then and you have that streaming service, you can get a look at it now. If not, then you only got, what are we, the 12th of May or so? So you got a little over a month before it hits streaming services and stuff. I mean, it looks interesting. I kind of gave it a little run through when reading it, looking it up. It looks interesting, but I mean, probably something I probably won't see, but just giving some new release information out to you guys. And the last bit of news is, I guess they are doing a that's not the one I wanted. Bear with me for a second. I don't know if you could stall for a second, Carter. I clicked the wrong story.
Can't wait to see The Marsh when it comes out. It does not sound so interesting, but I'll say about anything right now while Buzz is getting this spot on.
We're live, pal. My phone. So I'm drinking a beverage out of a red Solo cup. I found it. It's called Juan Origins. The next story, which was, I believe, The Grudge, originally in Japan. The Juan, I believe is what it's called. The original movie in Japan. Not sure? Okay. So, brand new Netflix original series, Juan Origins, returns to the Curse House in July. So, like I said, this is the original Japanese movie. Yeah, it was the original Japanese movie that was remade into The Grudge in the States. So it was like kind of like the remake or obviously the American version of Juan. I'm assuming this is going to be a prequel. It says the J-horror classic franchise Ju-on was actually based on real events that occurred over 4 decades. And the truth is even more terrifying. Can the people haunted by this house escape from the curse? And what kind of grim incident occurred in the house in the past? Ju-on Origins will stream only on Netflix starting July 3rd of 2020. So yeah,
once wrong, dude.
I picked some whoppers of stories this week, I guess.
I'm sorry,
What's up?
No, I'm sitting here listening to you. I swear to God, but also like spell checking Johnny. No, that one actually sounds cool. That I'd be looking forward to. The whole chasing.
Yeah, I don't have YouTube on, so you're just laughing at me. Thanks.
Hey, chasing people down in the swamp doesn't sound so much fun, but the series, that actually sounds cool. I mean, shit, I can't really do verse to it anymore.
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of a prequel to the Ju-on movies. I don't know if they made multiple in Japan. I know they made a couple of Grudges, I believe. In the States.
Yeah. They even did a Grudge.
I didn't see either of them, which is not a surprise because I guess I don't watch movies because every time we have ideas for movies, I'm like, yep, haven't seen that one. Yep, haven't seen that one.
Yeah, no, I've got like a bad OCD. If there's a sequel out, even if I know it's shit, I still end up watching it. So unfortunately, I've sat through like every one of those fucking movies.
Yeah. Well, so after that train wreck of a news segment, let's head into the meat and potatoes of the episode. Right. The Fog, original versus remake. Which is better? Find out now.
All right, so you've got the original that was directed by John Carpenter. Time period, like 1980, you kind of you already get a vibe for like what to expect in a lot of those movies as far as like cinematography, stuff like that. It's not really gory, but overall I kind of dug it, and it pretty much comes down to you've got this small coastal town. I'm just gonna say it was like present date at that time because I don't remember them really saying anything. But everything's happy-go-lucky, and it's time to celebrate the founders that started the town. And all of a sudden, pretty much all the bad mojo that the founding fathers did back in the
1800s, yeah,
1800s, all the bad mojo that the founding fathers did has come back to bite the town in the ass. Unfortunately, not too many people know about the situation. So you've got the people slowly kind of come to grips with it, but in the original, it was the priest that finds somebody's diary. I think it was the previous priest's journal telling everything that the founding fathers did. You've got some leper colony wanting to set up camp on the same spot of land that the town's at. They're like, hey, we'll give you some money. Let us do half the island. You leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. Unfortunately, the founding fathers didn't really like the idea of lepers setting up camp right next door to them. So they said, sure, we'll take the money. You can have half. But when time came for the lepers to move in, they set a bonfire for them to find land, moved it to where some rocks were, and pretty much kill all the lepers. Fast forward, the town's been built off blood money, and now those poor souls are coming back for revenge.
Like, the thing that I kind of like about this is, like, we got 3 separate stories going at once that kind of bleed into, like, the major, story. Because you got Jamie Lee Curtis and Tom Atkins, their characters, Nick and Elizabeth. Nick picks up Elizabeth as a hitchhiker. And then we got Adrian Barbour is Stevie Wayne, who is the disc jockey in the lighthouse. who has a weird relationship with the weatherman, which I forgot his name was off the top of my head. Because he just constantly just keeps calling her.
Yeah.
She kind of ends up, once everything starts happening with the fog coming in, she kind of ends up being the eyes for like the whole town, because she has the radio station, plus she has the view of the water and the pier from the lighthouse. So she kind of like sees where the fog is heading once it starts hitting town. So she, like I said, she's kind of able to play the eyes for like the whole town, and kind of like, all right, the fog's heading this way, everybody go the opposite direction, pretty much. And then we also have, I think, Janet Leigh playing Kathy Williams. I believe she's the mayor of the town.
Yeah, that was her.
Okay. And she kind of has her little story where she's trying to get everything like prepared for the 100-year celebration, because it was, I looked back while you were talking, it was 1880 when the town was founded. So we got 1980, so that's 100 years. So she got her kind of trying to like plan the whole celebration while that's going on. Fog starts rolling in. Everybody kind of, like I said, ends up getting to the church with the priest that you were talking about. Adrian, Stevie, she tries to escape, but then she's kind of starting to get attacked by like the people in the fog. So she can't really get away. Her son, she's kind of calling over the radio, trying to like ask for people, because she kind of sees what's happening, the fog rolling over the town, and she kind of knows like there's something in the fog that's causing destruction, because it killed the weather dude, which, like I said, I can't remember his name. I want to say Charles or maybe James, one of those two guys. I have a list of names, but I don't know who is who in the movie, besides the main characters. So she's calling over the radio, be like, hey, whoever can hear me, please help my son. She yells out the address. The old lady babysitter ends up getting killed. I'm trying to remember which one she got stabbed, I believe, and killed by the monsters in the fog, right? Or not the monsters, but in the original. Because like I'm starting to get original and the remake kind of blending together. Yeah, I think they stab her with a sword or something.
Yeah, that's what I actually liked about this one, is they kind of kept it. There's creatures in the fog, and you actually get to see them.
Yeah.
From the get-go, like I dug it because, the movie starts out with this old man telling a ghost story around the campfire with the kids.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, the 2 seconds after that finishes, the movie just takes off. There's no dragging feet on anything. Like, all sorts of weird shit just starts happening. And we realize, like, midnight is their free time. Midnight to 1, the town goes to shit every time. Weird stuff starts to happen.
Yeah, because I do remember when we get into that, like once midnight hits, that's when like a whole bunch of different things start happening to all the characters. So Nick and Elizabeth hear the distress calls from Stevie about her son. They end up going to the house, picking up the kid. The two of them and the kid end up meeting the mayor at the church with Father Malone. I found his name. It was an easy one to find because it says Father Malone, so obviously I could tell which character he played. He ends up he knows something's going down because he found, like you said, he found that journal in the church, and he was kind of like reading up on it. Kind of knows, some bad shit happened, in the past, and kind of has an idea of what's going on in a way. Everybody pretty much gets to the church, tries to lock themselves into the room because the fog's starting to get in. And then he comes out with some like cross, because I think like something to do with gold. I think they took their gold or something.
Yeah, the lepers were going to pay to have part of the island.
Yeah.
They will give you $5. They killed him and took the $10 took what they
Yeah.
needed for the town and then melted the rest into the cross.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what it
Which
was.
that
So
in itself was just kind of weird.
yeah, it was. So Father Malone comes out of the room holding that cross and pretty much hands it to, like, we see, like, kind of like the ghosts coming up, starting to hunt down everybody. They start kind of getting into the room where the rest of the people are locked up in. And as soon as he kind of hands the gold to, like, the head ghost, I guess, or the one that's
The
there,
captain.
yeah, pretty much symbolizes the end, and, like, the ghosts take it and they just pretty much, the whole fog disappears and everything is saved, or is it?
See, and I mean, like, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, and we'll get to the other one later, but I felt like the story was just a lot smoother in this one. We find out what the problem is, what happened, and, like, it just played out a lot smoother. I felt like everything was kind of told.
It was easy to pick up on what was going on. When I was watching the sequel, I had no idea what the fuck was going on, because like certain things started happening to where, like, what with the original.
That's definitely what I liked about the original, is the story stayed smoother.
Yeah.
They made it clear, like, hey, you owe us 6 lives and gold.
Yeah.
The only thing I couldn't really understand was, like, bodies start popping up with, like, what looked to be like the eyes were
towards the beginning.
Because the makeup, it was kind of hard to tell if it was like a burnout or if they were just missing or something. But each of the bodies did. That never became anything as the story progressed. I thought that was going to be like, an eye for an eye, maybe. But
yeah, they didn't really go on to anything like that.
Right. But like I said, though, also what I liked was the fact that they used shadows and camera angles. You never really, really get to see what you're facing. It's always just that scary image just behind the darkness, just behind the fog. And if you do see it, it's usually like a sword that comes out, and by then it's too late. So I really
like use a good image was like with one of, like, the captain with, like, seeing the red eyes.
Right.
That was good.
Still, so much of it was hidden to you that you still, like, you couldn't really put a face to something. So I really like how they shot I don't want to say zombies, reverence maybe.
Yeah.
So I really liked how they shot them and used them to build everything, like the tension, because you would see them just kind of walk past somebody. But again, you never had that full on image of what to be afraid of.
Yeah.
Wasn't a lot of special effects that were really needed at that point.
Yeah. And this is, like, still one of Carpenter's earlier, because I mean, Halloween was the year before, 2 years before.
I believe.
And then he had maybe 1 or 2 movies before that. So it's still an fairly early Carpenter film. He uses quite a few Halloween alumnus in this film with Jamie Lee Curtis. We had Tom Atkins, which he was in 3. We had Nancy Loomis, who was in the original with Jamie Lee. And there was one more person. I think it was the guy who played the weatherman, I believe, or the weather post guy. Was talking with, I can't remember. He was the sheriff in the original Halloween, but the actor's name escapes me, because obviously I haven't been able to find it when I keep looking for it to find out who the weatherman's name is that she kept talking to.
But like we keep saying, this is one of those fan favorites. I mean, he made it with a budget of like 1.1 million, and it pulled in 21.3. That's just, and that was just domestic. It was one of those that everybody saw it and they dug it. With every reason to. It just turned out to be a really good fucking movie.
Yeah, like I said, coming off the heels of Halloween, about a couple of years later, like, everybody kind of knows at this time now where John Carpenter, what to expect from him as a director. Excuse me, I just hit puberty. As a director. I enjoyed it. We're going to go ahead and throw to the trailer here, and then get our thoughts on the 2005 remake. So, trailer for The Fog coming up next.
John Carpenter's The Fog.
This is KAB Antonio Bay. Stevie Wayne here, and let me be the first to wish Antonio Bay a happy birthday. We're 100 years old today, and keep a watch out for that fog bank heading in from the east.
100 years ago, between midnight and 1, something unknown came out of the fog. Now it has returned.
Oh, Jesus.
100 years ago, between midnight and 1, something unnatural came out of the fog. Now it has returned. 100 years ago, between midnight and 1, something evil came out of the fog. Now it has returned.
Who's there?
The fog.
Antonio Bay has a curse on it. We're all cursed. There's no water getting here, but something awful cold did.
I think I'll go to Vancouver now.
Where's the fog now?
Well, it should be right outside my door now.
Oh, there's something different about this fog. Dan, stay away from the door! Someone listen to me!
Get inside and lock your doors. Close your windows. There's something in the fog. Stay away from the fog. From the creator of Halloween, the ultimate experience in terror and suspense. John Carpenter's The Fog, starring Adrian Barbour, Jamie Lee Curtis, John Houseman, Janet Leigh as Kathy Williams, and Hal Holbrook as Father Malone. The Fog. What you can't see won't hurt you. It will kill you. Between midnight and 1, it will find you.
Ooh, that was the trailer for The Fog. A trailer that you could obviously tell. Well, you could obviously tell they were paid every time they said The Fog.
Oh, shit.
The 1980 classic, The Fog. Between midnight and 1, The Fog. That's all I got from that trailer.
All right, but you know what, dude? I'm not gonna lie. That movie fucked me up when I was a kid. I remember seeing that one time, and the whole fog and shit coming out of the fog, dude. Anytime my neighborhood got foggy, I did not sleep that fucking night.
I was just gonna ask, did it do for fog that Jaws did for sharks?
Oh, fuck, it did for me, dude. Like, oh yeah.
Here came the fog. Damn it.
Like glued to a window. I see red eyes. Oh shit. Like, yeah, I was not ready for that movie. All right, so
well, we know that the next movie did not have that impact on anybody because it was horrible. No. This movie made you laugh at the fog.
Oh, dude,
Instead of be scared of it.
And the sad thing is, I mean, like, for the most part, you know, it moved step by step like the original. You know, you had the radio host dropping information. You had, you know, the same people that played. Crap, I can't remember the names now. Nick and Elizabeth. You know, you had those same kind of characters. Like everybody was pretty much step for step, like the first movie, but they put this weird twist on it this time.
Yeah, like we're not gonna go too far in depth in explaining because it's fairly the same plot. But the thing is, with this one, like people's like roles were a little bit different because like Elizabeth, she ends up being the daughter of the mayor in this one, which she wasn't in the original. Or at least I believe she wasn't.
Well, and she's also part of the town in this one. She was just
she was off doing
hitchhiker
something
the first
for
one.
yeah. This one she was off. She's a former Towns member. She left for like 6 months. She was
6
I
months,
believe
by the way.
Nick's girlfriend, right?
Yeah, they made such a big deal about her being gone. Fuck, you were gone for 6 months.
I know,
Bitch
and
was
it,
gone for like
like
6
she's
years or nothing, dude.
exactly. They're like, oh, little Elizabeth is back. It's been so long since she's been here. The whole 6 months ago.
I mean, don't get me wrong. 6 months is half a year, but it ain't that fucking long, dude.
Next, yeah.
But no, like this one, they definitely kind of changed the power dynamic. The female was a lot more on point in this one. You know, it was up to Elizabeth in this storyline to put all the pieces together. Matter of fact, I mean, it all pretty much revolved around her. So, like, all the pieces kind of found their way to her. Towards the first one, we were all kind of following along until the priest gave us all the info. And I kind of felt, here he is, like, he spent like what 6-7 years on Smallville. He's finally trying to do some movies, and he winds up in this shitball. Hey, so we just need you to follow this chick around and complain a lot. That's it.
Yeah, he owned a boat, like a fishing boat, with his buddy, I believe, or no, he just owned himself. Yeah. His buddy worked for him.
His buddy worked for him, and his buddy was completely fucking useless.
Yeah. He got the anchor stuck on something towards the beginning.
It was the shipwreck. That's
yeah. That's right.
The shit started. We disrupted the ground there. Towards the original,
wasn't it like some of the artifacts kind of started coming loose? Whatever once that happened, yeah.
In the first one, they right off the bat, it's like, hey, 100-year mark, shit's gonna pay. This one, they kind of make it seem like, oh, had he not disrupted that piece of spot, we all would have had a good fucking weekend.
Yeah, because like the DJ's son, Stevie's son, finds a gold brush or something in this one. He finds like a piece of driftwood in the original.
Right.
So it's like they changed that up.
You had the guy that did the, what's that called when you're
the metal detector.
Thank you. God, that was way too big of a word for me to forget. Anywho, he finds the pocket watch and takes it to Elizabeth. Like, it all finds its way to her. And it was just it didn't have the same punch story-wise. They tried to go a different direction with it. And then at the very end, when it all comes together, I was like, what the fuck? It just made no sense.
Because like, I mean, obviously they try to modernize it, which is fine, because obviously that's what you do with a remake. That's the whole point of doing a remake. But I just think they played with the story too much, to where it seemed like a completely different movie.
Because they started out with the whole, it's the same story, but this time, instead of like luring them to a bad spot and land where they wrecked on the beach and shit, these people like straight up met the lepers on the boat. Hey, we're here for our $5. Fuck you, we're going to take 10, shove them all below deck and set the boat on fire.
Yeah.
They definitely got like a lot more aggressive in this one. And that didn't bother me, different. Let's try to make this play out differently. But that didn't really change the story. It was mainly just how everything comes together. In the first one, it was all about like, you took a penny, you owe us fucking revenge. Here it was like, hey, you took a penny, we owe you some revenge. Hey, what's this over here? And then like just completely fucking walked away from it.
Yeah, because like they end up like with Stevie, the DJ, she ends up leaving like the lighthouse, the radio station, and doesn't even do like the whole thing where she's like guiding everybody along like she does in the original. She's like, she can't get a hold of her son. She freaks out. She leaves. And then like the babysitter gets killed by being touched by a hand coming out of the sink, I guess.
See, and this one, they definitely went more poltergeisty.
Yeah.
You see actual ghosts kind of walking around. The babysitter ghost hands came up out of a sink full of water.
Yeah,
touched her, and disintegrated. I don't even know what the fuck you would call that. You know, but like there's little changes that you can make to try to make something your own, and I don't like fault them for going the whole poltergeisty kind of ghost thing. It was more like my biggest fucking problem is the story and how it played through.
And also, don't drive with these town folk in the fog because they just keep running into random. Like there was multiple car crashes.
Holy shit! Like I kind of felt bad. I felt bad for the DJ chick, dude, because she's like, okay, I see, I'm gonna pull over, and some truck hits her at like what 80 miles an hour. I mean, it fucked her.
And not just a little truck; it was like a fucking semi truck.
I'm like,
who the smashed her, and she went flying into the water. And
personally, I think that was just an excuse because if you think about it, when she was sitting there in her sinking car, we were able to see like more ghost kind of footage and that kind of interaction.
I guess like they were like the fog was like coming through like the vents of the car when she was sitting there, and then she just got hit out of nowhere.
They definitely like tried to amp this one up for like special effects. You know, the first one was just kind of basics. We're going to use camera angles and shit like this. The remake was definitely like, let's CGI and fucking just special effects this bitch.
This one,
it wasn't bad, but it's like for me, the big thing is you fucked up the story and it just kind of brings everything else down.
Yeah, it just went way too out of the way. Like the only comparisons that it has is it's named The Fog and the characters' names are pretty much the same. Other than that, to me, the whole story is pretty, I'd say it's about 85 to 90% different. I mean, obviously they're still different than just those two things, but it's just like you got characters that are completely different than what they are in the original. Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
They stepped away from like in the original, you had the hey, 6 will fucking die. Here, no, we never really caught on to that. We never really caught on to the whole midnight aspect of it.
Yeah,
it was just kind of free for all, and it just didn't seem to have any rules or boundaries to it.
This one did seem more of it was more. I mean, I guess they're both revenge stories for the ghosts, but this one seemed like they knew what they were doing more because like they were attacking like patriarchs of the family who wronged them 100 years before. The other one, that didn't really seem like they really did that, at least from what I know or what I noticed. Like this one, like like they all kind of did the same thing. Kind of happens where like they all end up getting into the church, and then the ghosts end up like they throw the mayor out the window. We don't see her anymore. And then I don't know what the guy's name, but the other guy that's in there, there was the mayor, the priest, and then there was some dude. Is that who it was? No, Tom. That was Castle, right? Nick Castle.
Yeah.
Character.
The priest.
There was there was an older guy in there, like with white hair, like that they like set on fire.
He was the museum. He ran that building.
Okay. There's way too many people. Oh, and another weird thing is curator. Thank you, voices. The other weird thing is this hospital is fucked up, where they just leave their dead bodies in the hallway. Like, come on. They're just letting random the random chick just walk around the hallway and be like, "Oh, let me look at the dead bodies here." It's like, come on. Like, I was like, first I was like, wait, why is she just walking in like the morgue? But then I'm like, no, the bodies are in the fucking hallway. Just like, what a janky ass little town it is.
And I think that's what it was, like, because in the remake and the original, a boat goes out and individuals die on the boat, like in the very beginning of the movie. In the remake, they make it, what's the boy's name? Spooner. They make it seem he did it.
Yeah.
So they now got this whole like, oh, we think he's a killer, but then even that kind of fizzles out in the story and goes nowhere. You know,
like the police work is great because no one's sitting there in his hospital room, like, because he's like under investigation. Homeboy just hops out the window, and they're like,
right.
I think he went out the window. He's like, no shit.
You know,
It's
so the remake just kind of like tried to do a couple of things, but then like never really finished or did anything big with them. They just kind of like, oh, he went out the window. Fuck it. Hey, let's get back to over here. Like it was just very kind of jumpy in the story.
And also, how
like the main storyline that fucked it all up.
Yeah, and also, how convenient was it when, like, after the one dead body in the hallway got up and went after Chick, they just go to like this restaurant and they're like, "Oh, our plot furthering along is up here in these pictures on the wall. Like look at here from 18 blah 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 to 18 blah blah blah. Everything's different. I wonder what happened." It's like, really?
Yeah. No, you know, and like I said, dude, I really feel like, you know, I support trying to do something different. I support trying to, like, you know, put your spin on it in hopes that yours can withstand the original or become better than the original. This one did not fucking do it. I'm sorry.
It just, you look at what Last House on the Left that we looked at last week. We know that the remake, or Hills Have Eyes. I'm sorry, I'm thinking ahead. Yeah. Just a couple beers in me. The Hills Have Eyes. You know, the remake had tried to throw different aspects, but the central story was still there.
Exactly.
Here, it just didn't seem like that. It seemed like, well, the characters have the same name and there's a fog. Let's make a movie. And that's I don't know. Like, I mean, like I said, obviously it's more than just that. They did, you know, the 100 Years thing, this and that. But other than that, like, they're literally. So, like, and the movie ends with, like, freaking Elizabeth making out with a ghost and becoming a ghost in the end. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? I wanted to punch my TV.
I was trying to figure out, like, I'm like, oh, do I go there? Because that's such a bitching spot for me. But you fucking did it, so sure as fuck, dude. Here we go.
Just go there,
that made
man.
no fucking sense. Dude.
Untie my hair, let my hair loose. We're going there.
Hey, some ghost is going to force himself on you. Oh, wait. I kind of like this. Oh, wait. That's right. You're my fucking husband 100 years ago. Hey, Tom Welling, go fuck yourself. And she's just going to ghost out. What the fuck, dude? Doesn't matter if we still got the gold because I got my girl, so fuck the gold. I'm dead anyways.
Yeah. You know, she didn't actually fuck the ghost yet. She just knackered on. She just got some lip on ghost lip action.
And next thing you know, she's in like the 1880s dress, standing next to her old man, and hey, Tom, you know, it's not really gonna work out. Peace, bitch, and like fades. At which point, you know, the fucking guy's just like, oh, hey, so guys, I got my girl ghost out, and they all just go the fuck away. Like we were heard from the first place. Like it was all over the fucking spot.
I mean, seriously, I wanted to get up and punch my TV. I'm like, you're stupid for playing this movie. I hate it.
They decided to go with a lot more special effects. They looked good. You know, the ghost looked fucking cool. The whole, like, fucking moving around ghost shit looked cool. Only fucking issue I had, and it's a weird fucking spot, dude. It's when the priest died. They shanked him with, like, 3 shards of glass.
Yeah.
No blood. And when he drops, no blood. I'm like, those are some big fucking shards. Like, paper cut at least.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that. All right.
It was a cool visual, but like, yeah, like it just. I bet you know what though. Maybe I don't know what version you watch because there is an unrated version, which is 3 minutes longer. So maybe we got to see some blood.
No,
okay.
No.
Thanks for just smashing my dreams of somewhat of a 14 quality.
I want to make sure you have like no fucking thoughts that maybe if I fuck no, dude. No.
Thank you.
Original, unrated, both are just fucking disappointments of life. Which really fucking kills me because this shit budget 18 million, brought in like 46.2 million. I don't know how the fuck that happened, except for they were like, wait a minute, The Fog? Oh, that movie's a bomb. And like rushed in and was like, oh, wait, what the fuck is this bullshit? Fuck, I already gave them my money. Like, that's the only.
I haven't watched the trailer yet, and we'll play it in a little bit, but maybe they just didn't say The Fog enough in the trailer.
I don't know.
Maybe it didn't get.
If so, I'm kind of digging on Katie's idea of having a drinking game and taking a shot every time they fucking say The Fog.
Ooh.
So,
Katie, if I did that, I would be laying on the floor right now, dead.
Opened this trailer. This one.
Ooh, we might do that as a party game next week, Katie. Just everybody get your drinks in. Every time they say The Fog, we drink and we all die.
I love old fucking trailers, dude.
Oh, dude, like I want to get into like that like job. Be like, in a world where blah blah blah, the fog.
There's no place for that anymore. Now it's just like,
yes, I got the job.
But now, you know, it's like they just kind of cut and paste the trailer. There is no cool voiceover or like that's just a lost fucking art, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if I guess it couldn't. I would say I wouldn't be surprised if they literally just played the 1980 trailer, like The Fog, and be like 2005, and just be like, yeah, it's a new movie, guys. It's The Fog. Stupid movie. Stupid.
Oh, Katie said she's in.
Okay, well, we'll be here. And then after we all die from doing that, we'll join The Fog. Okay.
Oh.
So next week we're probably gonna go ahead. Did they hear that, or I have to tell them that?
No, you got to tell them.
Okay. So next week, when we do our original versus remakes for The Last House on the Left, you guys don't know, but now you know. After the news bit, we're going to have a little drinking game for The Fog. Everybody, make sure you have your drinks ready next week, because we be drinking. Oh, we be drinking.
And fucking funner, I got to tell you, dude. Jesus Christ.
So, go ahead and cut to the trailer, come back, and finish things up here. The Fog.
I got something on my radar. Looks like a fog bank, and it's moving straight toward us.
What kind of fog moves against the wind?
Elizabeth? What's wrong?
I keep seeing horrible things happening. Come on, please. What's going on? What's happening?
They killed him. The fog killed him.
Get off the island.
Why?
Just go.
Somebody out here?
What the hell is that? Get out of there! Come on! Grab my hand! There's something in the fog!
So that was, we think, The Fog, because it didn't say The Fog like 30 times. So we don't know if that was The Fog, but it was The Fog. Yeah.
At least the original let me know what the fuck I was about to watch.
We heard The Fog once in the now we know why the 2005 remake bombed big time, is they didn't tell you what you were watching. You were watching The Fog.
Like last week, I was all about the remake. And for anybody that wasn't watching, you can always jump down and see our last show. I did not like the remake this time. I'm hardcore the original.
The funny thing is, IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes agrees with you, because it had like a 5% audience score, or critics scored like a 19% audience score. So
okay, I'm surprised that Rotten Tomato gave any fucking bad movie a bad grade. They usually don't mind like this. Like usually, I just don't fucking flip with them.
I'm trying to think. Like 2005, I was a year out of high school, so honestly, I don't really remember this movie that much. So,
I know I didn't see it when it came out. I caught it like years fucking later.
So yeah, it was a 4% critic score with a 19% audience rating. Just all bad. It was very bad.
See, like I said, that's funny because usually, like, me and Rotten Tomatoes are on opposite sides of the fucking fence. They're like, "Oh my god, you'll give your first child for this movie." Really? Fuck. So I'm surprised that we both agree on the same fucking thing on that one.
Yeah, I was semi upset because I paid $4 to watch this movie. I'm gonna be maybe calling my local congressman. I don't know if they're involved in giving me my money back. I'll have to find that out. But I mean, I hate. No, I was gonna say I hate kind of talking bad about movies and telling people not to go see them, but don't see The Fog. Just watch our.
I don't mind telling somebody if I think something's bad because it's like my fucking opinion. And my opinion is like, don't waste your fucking time. Not even like your money. If the bitch is free, don't waste your fucking time.
Yeah, I wish that's all it was my time.
Okay. We watched a bad movie this week, but we get to play a drinking game next week and talk about more fucking movies. Grand fucking life.
Yes, yeah, I did get to watch the original, so if there is a silver lining, it's that plus the drinking game, which still have nothing to do with 2005's The Fog, but I mean, it has some kind of code.
Celebrating the good shit.
I think that's about all we can say. I mean, I've buried the movie as much as possible, as long as possible.
And I mean, overall, dude, I feel bad because it actually had, like Selma Blair. Like, there's a lot of good people that just.
She was not good. Like, the only thing I liked about her in that movie was her standing in her underpants for about 10 seconds, or not even 10 seconds, like 5 seconds, I think.
No, what I was going to say.
Which was another. That was another weird thing. Why does she not wear clothes with a child present? She's just laying here in her underpants and a t-shirt and just all like, "Look at me, son." What?
She's covered. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, she was in the bed. He came in and she's like, "Mommy, I found something." And then she's like, "All right, son, let me take all my blankets off and be all underpants, all exposed." I don't know.
No, like I said, I kind of felt bad because there was a lot of good people in the cast that was like, we're in a shitty movie.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So what I was going is like she did not do that well. Like she was terrible in that movie. I was watching her acting. Like they might be good names, but they just did terrible in this movie.
I think this is one of those few times that it falls under like just the material you had to work with. Because I've seen Tom Welling besides Smallville, and I don't think he's a bad actor. He's pretty good. Cheaper by the Dozen. Fucking, he hopped on Lucifer for a season. It was just, I really think like they all got kind of a shit movie.
I think they just inhaled some of the fog, and their just acting was very subpar. Yeah, so
the original.
Yeah. See the original. We need to do like a thing at the end where we give like a 2 thumbs up or 2 thumbs or something like that, or for like each movie as like a rating system or something. I don't know. I'm just rambling now.
I get 3 thumbs down for this one, but I figure we'll get kicked off YouTube. So
yeah. You don't want to say anything about anything on the walls or anything. Sorry, Daddy YouTube.
I'll just say don't see this one.
Yes, this did not get me excited all over the wall. That's all I'll say.
Right.
So that's going to probably wrap it up for today. As we've said a couple times throughout this episode, next week we'll be diving into the Wes Craven classic. I think it's a classic. I don't know. Last House on the Left. It's kind of this is going to be a tough watch because it's been a while since I watched it. And every time I watch it, I feel a bit uncomfortable because it is a tough movie to especially the original.
Oh yeah,
tough movie to get through. But we're going to do it for you guys. We're going to do Jesus Christ, Last House on the Left, and the remake of.
Watch these movies, don't you?
Well, it's like the Wes Craven combination. They're both Wes Craven films, so yeah. And then we're also going to do a drinking game for the fog, so everybody make sure they have their shot glasses and their favorite adult beverage or not adult beverage, whatever you want to take shots of. It's up to you guys. Any closing statements, Carter, before I get into the good housekeeping?
I don't know what we're doing yet, but we'll see you guys Thursday. Hope you have an awesome week.
Yes, the group we're going to be doing a group chat on Thursday. Topic undecided. But you'll be seeing my face in Carter's face and Johnny's face and I guess the Giz's face. And then like I said, next Tuesday we'll be looking at Last House on the Left, remake versus original. Also before then, this Sunday night on American Horrors, Johnny and the Giz will be bringing you Fantasy Island. I forgot for a second, but I remembered. At 8:30 p.m. CST, whatever the case was, GMT, over on American Horrors. So let's cut to the advert there, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye.
See, isn't this better? We're out of the house. We're somewhere nice and fun. This is
Yeah,
great.
we're out of the house, in a larger house of books, where I now have to wear a mask while reading the books.
Come on, man.
It's a hoot.
Libraries are great. Come on, stories.
I won't lie to you, dude. I had like a slightly bigger plans for my summer involving booze and the band, baby.
You know what? Fine.
Sexy wenches.
I'll solve this right now.
You bought your Necronomicon to the library?
No, it's the library edition.
The library have a Necronomicon?
Of course they do. Invoque por todos Isla de Fantasma!
Phantasma? What the fuck? Where are we? Oh my god, man, it is hot as fuck here.
See, isn't this better? Nice outdoors, sunny. I brought us to Fantasy Island, man.
No, idiot. You brought us to Phantom Island. Phantasm is phantom in Spanish. Fantasia. Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. Phantom Island. Awesome. If that purple suited git shows up, you're in a lot of trouble, bucko.
I can fix this, alright? I can fix it.
Why don't you just zap us back to Fantasy Island or zap us back to the library or something?
Because I don't have... That's a library book. You don't take books out of a library. Look, it's alright, okay? I can fix this. I'll figure something out. I will fix this.
Actually, It does give me a good idea for an episode. Join us up for the Giz this Sunday, 8:30 p.m. CST, and whatever that equates to as GMT is only on American Horrors for a brand new episode where we're going to be reviewing the new Fantasy Island movie.
Hey, look, boss the plane!
Yeah, you better flag that fucking plane or we're not getting off this bloody island.